Okay, 8th graders, today we're talking about using the Pythagorean theorem, and you need to show your work. You may want to draw your own pictures or add to the ones that are already here. So on this first problem, we're going from point A to point B, and we can't walk through the pond there, so to avoid the pond we have to walk 34 meters and then 41 meters to get from point A to point B. The question says, to the nearest meter, how many meters would be saved if it were possible to walk through the pond? So, how many meters would be saved means I don't care how far this is, I want to know how much less this is from this distance. So I write down the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And I know that I'm looking for my hypotenuse because it's across from the right angle. So 34 and 41 are my legs, or my a and b values. So I fill those in. 34 squared plus 41 squared equals c squared. So when I type those into my calculator, I get 2,837 equals c squared. And I don't care what c squared equals, I want to know what c equals. So I square root them, and to the nearest meter, I get c equals 53 meters. Now, if I could go through here, it would be 53 meters. If I have to walk 34 plus 41, I have to walk 75 meters. So how many meters would be saved if I could just walk through the pond? To find that out, I just subtract 75 minus 53, and I get 22 meters would be saved. So these questions are really tricky. You have to really read the problems closely. Number 2. A baseball diamond is a square with sides of 90 feet. So, since there's no picture here, I would draw a baseball diamond. That's a square. And each side is 90 feet. What is the shortest distance to the nearest tenth of a foot between first and third base? So here's first, second, third, home plate. We want to know if we just run in a straight line from first to third, how far do we have to run? Alright, so I'm looking for my c value because it's across from the right angle. So I have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and 90 squared plus 90 squared equals c squared. And when I do 90 squared plus 90 squared, I get 16,200. And I don't care what c squared is, I want to know what c is. And we're rounding to the nearest tenth of a foot, so when I square root those, c equals 127.3 feet. You'll notice that I'm always writing my feet. Each of these problems will be worth 2 points, one for the label, one for the correct answer. Okay, turn your paper over. Number 3, a suitcase measures 24 inches long and 18 inches high. What is the diagonal length of the suitcase to the nearest tenth of a foot? So I want to know the diagonal length through here. And we know that it's 24 inches long and 18 inches tall. So again here, across from the right angle is the c value, so I know that I'm looking for the hypotenuse. I fill in 24 and 18 for the legs. 24 squared plus 18 squared is 900. When I square root 900 and c squared, I get c equals 30 inches. Okay, number 4. In a computer catalog, a computer monitor is listed as being 19 inches. This distance is the diagonal distance across the screen. So, and this is true, TVs and computer screens are measured on their diagonal distance. So, if you have a 19-inch TV, if you measure across it, it's not going to be 19 inches. You have to measure diagonally, and that will show you the 19 inches. Or if you have a, gigantic TV, like 36 or 42 or whatever, it's diagonal inches of screen, not lengthwise inches of screen. So, in our computer catalog, the computer monitor is listed as being 19 inches. So that's the diagonal. This distance is the diagonal distance across the screen. If the screen measures 10 inches in height, I'm going to label that. What is the actual width? So this time I'm given the hypotenuse and one leg. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I can fill in 10 for my a value. I would be looking for my b value and 19 for my c value. And 10 squared is 100 plus b squared equals 361 when I do 19 squared. So I subtract 100 from both sides. B squared equals 261. I square root them both, and I get b equals 16 when I round to the nearest inch, inches. So make sure you have your label there of inches. The older floppy diskettes measured 5 1/4 inches on each side. What was the diagonal length of the diskette to the nearest 1/10 of an inch? Okay, well on this, we can see if they're 5 1/4 inches, that would be the same as 5.25 on each side. And they're asking for the diagonal, which is my c value because it's across from the right angle. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 5.25 squared plus 5.25 squared equals c squared. When I do those two added together, I get 55.125 equals c squared. And if I square root them both to the nearest 1/10 of an inch, I get 7.4 inches. Okay, numbers 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, I would like you to try on your own. Read very carefully and have a great night.